My 24F boyfriend, male 25 of 8 months, is starting to police my eating habits, and I'm tired of it. For the record, I am a small-framed, visibly muscular, 5'4" woman whose weight fluctuates anywhere between 128 to 135. My boyfriend has always teased and encouraged me to eat more, but it's always been playful before. I used to tease him about his mammoth-sized portions. Seriously, where does it go? Because I had to start making date night dinners that should serve 4. To be clear, he constantly underestimates his calories and is often shocked when reading nutritional information. I don't know where he got the idea he's knowledgeable enough to be judging what I'm eating, but there you go. Lately, he's become very fixated on this idea. I'm going to start starving myself without his guidance. I don't have a big sweet tooth. I don't snack on the regular. I only eat about 1/2 of my restaurant entrees. We usually split an appetizer. I'm a lightweight, and I prefer a light lunch. These are all things he's starting to criticize on the regular. I want y'all to understand, I'm not depriving myself. I don't go hungry, I just don't enjoy stuffing myself. He doesn't listen when I tell him he's constantly ruining my appetite by forcing snacks on me. Yesterday, we woke up late, and I knew we were going out to lunch, so I only had 1 slice of thick brioche French toast, powdered sugar, syrup, butter, 1/2 a peach, and 2 slices of summer sausage. He had 5 slices of French toast, with all the toppings and whipped cream, 1.5 peaches, the rest of the summer sausage, and an egg. I ended up eating a 3rd slice of his summer sausage, dipped in his egg to get him to stop nagging me. He made another 2 comments about how little I ate before lunch. Then at lunch, he had new fights to pick. He didn't want me to order plain iced tea or a diet soda. I don't like overly sweet drinks. He didn't want me to order an entree salad, ranch, bacon, avocado, egg, etc. We negotiated my lunch to a breadstick, a side salad, add avocado, and 2 slices of pizza that he nagged me to finish until his dad told him to lay off because he didn't want to be too full for gelato later. The whole meal was pretty embarrassing for me. Of course, my boyfriend wasn't happy that I wanted a small gelato cup instead of a cone. I don't have a sweet tooth, remember? We knew we were going to have a late dinner, so we stopped at a gas station later that evening to get him a snack. I just wanted water, but picked up a small package of corn nuts in the hopes of making him happy, and we still had a minor spat, so I picked some candy too. He didn't notice he was the one to end up eating it. He claimed we disagreed because I was irritable from hunger. We picked up dinner at a buffet-style place that charges you by weight for to-go containers. He decided I had to use a medium container instead of a small one. Admittedly, I just filled the difference with varieties of salad, but I also had a very rich mac and cheese and some fried foods in my container as well. He was bothered by the small portions I was serving myself, but I was taking many more varieties than he. Think sample platter. My container was full. This is where we had our first real fight about my eating habits. He decided to make a 3rd container of food to make sure I ate enough when we got home. The restaurant we were at was not cheap. I refused to back down on not blowing a bunch of money on food that we just end up picking at and throwing away. A lot of the things he picked are foods I don't like reheated. We've been working hard on being more frugal together lately, so I was pretty pissed when he ignored me and paid for the extra food. In the car ride on the way home, the argument continued until it got to the point where he was very frustrated and teared up as he shouted, "I work so hard to take care of you and you're always fighting me to hurt yourself." He then proceeded to give me a long, condescending guilt trip. I was pretty enraged, TBH. Once we were home, dinner went cold while we fought over calories, protein, sugar, my BMI, work, you name it. No matter what I showed him, he wouldn't back down on not feeling like I don't eat enough because muscle weighs more than fat, so you're underweight and hiding it by lifting weights. I don't even know what to say to that, so I went home. He texted me 12 times because I left the cold dinner at his place. I was ignoring him while I made food, but finally caved and told him I was eating something else. He asked me to text him a picture of my food. I never responded, and he texted me another 3 times. This morning, he texted to ask if he could bring me breakfast. I said no. I'm kind of bewildered and annoyed. I'm not sure how we can resolve this one. Update September 30th, 2016, 40 days later. So, in case anyone is wondering, turns out my now ex's mother and 2 sisters had him convinced I had some kind of eating disorder and would nag at him about it and make him feel like crap for letting me hurt myself. All 3 of them are obese, so IDK why he weighed their opinion on nutrition so heavily. I pointed that out, with more tact, and we had a much better conversation about why he needed to lay off on how I eat. He did make a lot of effort to keep his opinions to himself, but could never completely let his worry go. Officially, this isn't why we broke up, but it was kind of like the shattering illusion from him. That kind of made me start noticing how he's quick to be arrogant, condescending, and patronizing when he thinks he's right, and how he buys into every dumb thing his family tells him without question. Stuff like that. This story is frustrating, sad, and honestly a little exhausting to read. Not because of how it's written, but because of how deeply relatable it is for anyone who's ever been in a relationship with someone who thinks they know what's best for you, even when they clearly don't. At first, it seems like harmless teasing, a boyfriend who encourages you to eat more, maybe pokes fun a little. That kind of thing can be playful, even sweet when it's mutual. But as this story goes on, it becomes really clear that it's not just about food, it's about control. It's about a man who feels entitled to monitor your body, your choices, and your life, all under the disguise of caring. The constant pushing to eat more, the criticism of every food choice, the public embarrassment at lunch, the unwanted third container of food. These aren't acts of love. They're ways of wearing someone down. He wasn't listening to you. He wasn't respecting you. And instead of believing you when you told him how you feel in your own body, he decided to trust his own flawed opinion, and worse, his family's opinions, over your reality. It's the way he made you feel like a child needing to be managed, or worse, someone incapable of taking care of themselves. That's what this story really gets at. It's not about calories or portions. It's about not being heard, about not being seen, about being treated like your voice doesn't count when it comes to your own body. And then there's the guilt, the "I worked so hard to take care of you" meltdown, the dozen texts demanding a picture of your food, the fake concern disguised as control. It's manipulative, it's invasive, and it's exhausting. No one should have to justify any right mistake just to keep their partner from spiraling. What really makes this story stand out is how it ends. That update, where you find out his mom and sisters were feeding him these toxic ideas, is such a powerful moment. It doesn't excuse his behavior, but it explains the root of it. Sometimes people don't know how deeply they've been influenced by those around them, and in his case, he was projecting fears and misinformation from his family onto you. But even after you explained things, even after you tried to talk it out, he couldn't fully let it go. He couldn't see that his worry was really about control and insecurity. And honestly, you were right to leave. It may not have been the final straw, but it was definitely the crack in the wall that made you look at everything differently. You saw that this wasn't about food. It was about how he handled being challenged, how he refused to admit when he was wrong, how he made you feel small when he should have made you feel safe. So here's the advice I'd give, not just to you, but to anyone listening who might be in a similar situation. When someone constantly questions your choices, especially about something as personal as your body or your health, pay attention. Real love doesn't look like monitoring, micromanaging, or guilt tripping. Real love trusts. Real love listens. Real love doesn't need proof to believe you. You deserve to feel at peace in your body. You deserve to eat what you want without it becoming a debate. And most importantly, you deserve to be with someone who doesn't make you feel like you need to earn your autonomy. This story isn't just about a breakup. It's about waking up. It's about seeing clearly for the first time that the person you thought was on your side was slowly making you doubt yourself. And walking away from that, that's strength. You didn't lose someone. You freed yourself. And that's something worth being proud of.